Welcome to Boxing on the Record with Randy and Shy. Shy, before I get started, I got to do a station break. This is the time where we allow the watchers, the viewers to like, subscribe, comment, share, dislike, do something to engage with the show so that we can grow the channel and reach more people. Now back to our regular schedule program. Um, Shy, this weekend was pretty crazy, man. We had that Lamont Roach Pitbull Cruz fight this weekend, and it ended in total controversy. Um, what I mean by that is uh, it ended in a draw. Clearly, I think Lamont Roach won the fight. Good, tough, old school fight, but clearly, I think he won it. And the reason why I think he won it was um, he started out the first few rounds fighting Pitbull fight, which I thought that was a bad mistake from the jump. But he weathered the storm. He got in there, he banged it out with him. I mean, they was going blow for blow, bobbing and weaving and punching and doing what you do when you fight a Mexican. And that's not to disrespect no nationality, but we know how Mexican fight different than American black fighters and so on and so forth. So we know they want to bang it out. So he was banging it out with him. Then it got to a point where he said, "Well, you know what? Enough of that. I done showed the people what they need to see, that I can bang it out, that I can get in there and be a dog, and I proved that." So now he goes into his game, and he was boxing him, doing it well. He was boxing him so well till at times Lamont, I mean Pitbull, began to do what I seen Canelo do, get frustrated and just you know, don't want to engage. He basically was running from him. He was walking back. He got him on the back foot. He walking back, not just on the back foot. He walking back. Don't want to engage. But then he was doing a whole lot of holding. I mean, a whole excessive holding. And the referee never did warn him or nothing for it. He was doing a lot of leading in with the head, and we know all that come from frustration. He was doing a lot of hitting below the belt, hitting in the hip. Uh, we know how Pitbull is. He's a rough, rugged type fighter. So we kind of expect those things. But and of course he dropped Roach, I think in the second round, something like that. And it wasn't really the drop that people are talking about. He hit Roach, Roach off balance. He goes stumbling back. And of course he put his hand down to catch his balance. And so happened it touched the canvas. He got a point deduction for that. But it's funny how Roach get a point deduction for glove touching the canvas, and other people don't get point deductions for their glove touching the canvas. And it could be because of the situation at hand. Could be because the punch was stalled and he was falling backwards. But a touch glove to the canvas, there's a point deduction regardless. So a lot of people thought, well, since he got the knockdown, the fight is going to actually end in Pitbull's favor. But eventually, as the fight went on, the referee took a point from Pitbull. When he took the point from Pitbull, of course, that nullified the point situation. So, like I said, hell of a fight. Um, so at the end of the fight, and I'm gonna let you just get in a little bit. But at the end of the fight, the most craziest thing I heard was 115, 111 Pitbull. So when I heard that, I was like, I don't know where they get this judge from. Maurice must have sent him there. I mean, I don't know where he come from. So, but I said I got hope that I guess the next two judges are rule in Lamont's favor, and we'll get a split decision victory. Lo and behold, they go 113, 113, both judges. So we come up with a draw. But at first, when I seen it, because I'm my mind racing so fast, when I seen them, I'm like, dang, what's really going on? Then when I seen the WBC belt come up to Pitbull, then I knew what the deal was. If you look at the CompuBox numbers, CompuBot numbers are one side, favoring Lamont Roach. So I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened where they dropped the ball at. What's really going on? But what say you about any of this?
Man, Randy, thank you for bringing me all the way in on this. Again, you know my profession, and I'm ashamed to say that I've been so overwhelmed by everything I had to do in my daytime gig that I literally did not get a chance. Still haven't had a chance to watch any of the fights this weekend. I have heard about the controversy and all of the drama. Now, if you recall, before I think it may have been a couple of weeks ago that you and I spoke. It was like right when a commercial was coming on for Columbo or something like that. I said, hey Randy, let's talk about this fight real quick, and you know what we think about this, what's going to happen and everything. And so if you recall back during that time, I definitely stated that I had Lamont Roach beating Pitbull. And I want to be clear, and the reason why I had it that way is because Pitbull is one dimensional. He only fights one way. I've always said this. He comes straight forward. Defense is lacking, all the way offense, but he just makes, he's an exciting fighter in the sense of giving us that pugilistic, man type of thing, mano y mano, let me go at you, you go at me type of stuff, and just see whose will breaks and everything. But boxing is a little bit more than that. And For me, Lamont Roach himself, he's not an elite level fighter either. He's like an average, maybe a little bit above average fighter, but he does have a little bit more skills. He does create a little bit more angles and those things that could disrupt some of Pitbull's movement. But I felt that he could weather. I felt in the beginning Pitbull would be Pitbull, come straight forward and just come at him. And based on what you said and what the other said, that's what appeared happened, especially with the, I guess, the so-called knockdown. But I felt that Lamont Roach would find a rhythm somewhere in there, maybe round 4 or 5, and then the fight would pretty much just be his way. And according to what you said and others, that's pretty much what happened. Now, as far as the judges are concerned, I mean, this is again another stain on boxing. I'm sick of it. And this fight was at 140. Both of these guys fought against another person at 135, and had this controversial draw with the other person at 135. You speak about gloves touching. This person at 135, forget the gloves touching. They went down, kissed the canvas, called their mama while they was lying on their back. Then ran to their corner and was asking for some candy if anybody got some breath mints and everything. And somehow none of that got counted as a knockdown, or point deduction or disqualification somehow. Uh, and Then it ends up being a draw. And so yeah, there is a certain level of favoritism that goes on. I don't know what the end goal of this particular fight is, because it appears that everybody has moved on from 135. And so this is at 140. I don't know if there was ever going to be a rematch between these two guys and the person at 135, and uh they're choosing to allow this to be a draw so that maybe one person, if they do rematch, will or won't. I don't know, because this guy is on, the other person is only at 135, and I think their career is pretty much over. They've got too many outside things happening, so they can't focus on boxing, and they really haven't done anything in boxing lately. As I said, what have you done for me lately, if you will? Uh, what I have a problem with, and I probably have a bigger problem when I watch the fight, is with this absurd draw that Lamont Roach constantly gets on his resume. It's almost like a hit put out against him, and I can't figure out what it is. I mean, the cat gives us what we want in boxing. He comes to fight, he does everything he has to do, just like everybody else. Boxing, is these people's livelihoods, and so he's got to feed his family. And every time you do these types of things, you're taking money out of his pocket. How are we taking money out of his pocket? Well, if he would have won this fight, according to you and others, his stock would have even rose higher, being a champion, having this whatever belt, this interim belt, which is Subaru Matias' belt, who ironically tested positive for ostarine, the same quote unquote drug or compound that another person tested positive for, in a fight against Devin the Dream Haney. Um, and so that's what this whole fight is for, this interim belt for that other for Matias. Uh, Hypothetically, if he would have won, his stock could have went up. He could have had, these more major fights, would have, been able to be promoted even further. I am this, champion at this division now, this two division champion. I'm able to do all this type of stuff and everything. But with these types of things, I don't know what is in it, man. We could say Mauricio being Mexican and is just didn't want this Mexican guy to look. I mean, that's low hanging fruit. That's too easy. There's something else that's involved, and I can't put my name my finger on it just now, but there's something there, man. But yeah, based off everything you're saying, everything, I'm very disappointed in how boxing has been showing itself lately with certain fighters, and yeah, I'm just very disappointed, bro. Talk to me. What you got?
With that being said, we're out of here like last year.
Peace.